And joining me from Orlando, Florida is YuKong Zhao. He's the president of the Asian American Coalition for Education and one of the supporters of the lawsuit against Harvard. So what was your first reaction when you heard that the U.S. Justice Department supported the discrimination case against Harvard?
I was very pleased and very encouraged. Over the years, Asian American children has been discriminated. Harvard and many other schools use racial quota, higher standard, and racial stereotype discriminating Asian American children. However, prior administration, like Obama administration, failed to provide equal protection of laws to Asian American children. One of the reasons is Asian Americans are the smallest racial group. We don't have a lot of voting powers. However, I'm very glad to see the Department of Justice under Trump administration provides the equal protection of laws regardless of population size. So that is very encouraging, and I think they are doing a wonderful job to protect all the American citizens, including Asian American.
What would you say about the latest numbers of the incoming freshman class at Harvard this year? 22% Asian American, larger than the reflected U.S. population. And what do you say to the smaller numbers of Hispanic and African American students admitted to Harvard? Could the same arguments be made for them?
I think use ratio to measure this is number one is in violation of U.S. Supreme Court ruling to ban the racial quota. Another point I want to make is about 20 years ago, U.S. already immigrant, a lot of high-tech immigrants, many talented Asians come to here to build America, and Asia take up like 60% of the world population. Many talented Asia come here. We bring a good parenting and responsible parenting. We raise our children successfully. So if you look at the count 20% in comparison with 60% of world population of Asia, I think the ratio is still low. I think whether or not to talk about the ratio is not appropriate. It's really against the qualification. Whether or not Harvard utilize the same standard applied to everybody. So that is a matter of the fairness. That's a matter of the the law.
So what is the ultimate goal here? What do you hope to see as a result of all of this? What sort of change do you want to see?
So number one, we want Harvard totally abandon using the racial quota. Secondly, we want them abandon the use of the higher admission standard. The number three is the discriminatory practice of using the personal rating, artificially put Asian American as lower rating. That is the first step. They need to ban stop all the illegal discrimination. I think ultimate goal will be the eliminate the race-based college admission. One thing I want to make a point is Asian American were historically victimized by the race-based policy, like Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882, and also Japanese internment during World War II. Both are the race-based policies. Today, Asian American children still suffer from such race-based policy. It's unfair, it's immoral, it's illegal.
What one piece of evidence would you say there is about a racial quota system at Harvard? Because again, if you look at 22%, are you saying that maybe perhaps there should be more than 22% Asian American makeup at Harvard?
Yes, because in 1993, Asian American enrollment in Harvard already reached about 23%. But over the last 20 years, Asian American population doubled, but Harvard still use the same kind of racial quota, pretty much kept Asian American enrollment between 14 to 19% for 20 years. Until very recently, it was sued by Students for Fair Admission, being complained by my organization, Asian American Coalition for Education. So they gradually rise up the admission rate. It's not right to keep the same kind of admission ratio for Asian American children or for any other racial group.
All right, Mr. YuKong Zhao, thank you so much for joining us from Orlando. We appreciate it.